guys, today I want to do the intro for my Penna palette or hashtag Project Pen Porn. So I have talked about this a little bit in my 2018 painting plans and goals video. If you haven't watched that one, I'll link it up here and down below so that you can go check it out. But pretty much I said that I was just done with the idea of like painting one entire palette from beginning to finish. I just feel I really don't want to do that anymore. Once in a palette, I feel most of the shades that I enjoy using are gone. It's just not worth my time to struggle with the like 2 or 3 remaining shades for like half of a year. You get that feeling? I would rather go through my entire collection than focusing on just 1 or 2 palettes in a year. So I was talking about it a little bit in my painting goals and plans video, but also I was still kind of trying to figure out what I want to do exactly. So this is what I have decided. I think I will just hop onto the Project Pen Porn that Elle S did last year. I actually went back and watched her intro video and she invited whoever wants to join in to just join in. So I decided to do that instead, and I'm gonna change my rule just a slight bit to fit my personal ideals, I guess. So first of all, I picked 2 palettes. And the reason behind picking those 2 palettes really is just, it comes from one of you guys. So you suggested that I would pick 2 palettes to work on at the same time. One is one of the newest palettes in my collection and the other one is one of the oldest. I think that's brilliant because really, in my mind, I want to finish some of the older palettes before they completely turn bad. But at the same time, I really want to try out the newer palettes that I just, newly brought into my collection, so that they don't just sit there brand new and not touched for years. So I figured that's a brilliant idea, and I picked 2 palettes based on that. I'm not gonna say this is the most recent purchase, but it's just, like it represents one of the newer ones, and this one is possibly not the oldest, but it represents one of the oldest. So for the newer palette, you can see that I picked my ColourPop Yes Please palette. I really enjoy this palette. I've been using it a ton, but I don't think you can see much of a wear in it. You can see some dips in those like shimmery shades, I think just because they're a little bit more crumbly. Compared to the matte shades, I think you can barely see any dips in there. So this is where I am at right now. And like I said, I'm gonna change my rules a little bit from the original Project Pen Porn. I think for me, I really just want to hit pan on one shade in this palette. Once I hit pan on one shade, I think that definitely is enough wear time for me to know if I enjoy the palette or not. I don't have to hit pan on the majority shades, or I don't have to hit pan on all of them. So that's my goal. I'm just gonna try to hit pan on one shade, and I honestly think the shade that I hit pan first should be this one because it's like the most crumbly of them all. I wouldn't say that I use it the most, it's just really the most powdery. So once I hit pan on this shade or maybe something else, I would just roll this one out and then try to use another newer palette in my collection. And the older palette that I picked is my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone. I have a lot of like trails or quads that I bought in my super early makeup days, and this is probably my very first bigger palettes that I bought around that time. So I'm pretty confident this is the oldest palette I have in my collection. And of course, back in the day, I didn't really start documenting my palettes, so I didn't really know when I purchased it. It was just like one of those early days that I didn't really know about project panning, and I wasn't really being conscious about it. So this is where I am at with this palette. You can see some dips on some of the lighter shades. I think I try to use those 3 a lot when I had the palette back in the day, and of course those 2 as well, and I barely touched those 3. So I really want to try them out. Again, I think they are pretty unique. I mean, the news are the news, but those green shades are pretty unique, and I feel a little bit more comfortable wearing colors now. So hopefully I can use some of the green shades more and hit pan on one of them. So far I don't really see much of a dip in anywhere, and that one probably has a little bit more of a dip, but it's more like a crack that happened. They definitely kick out powder, but I wouldn't say they're powdery by any means. So this one might take me a little while, but I wouldn't mind it. I think it's such a good stable palette, and I really just want to give it some good use. It has survived all of my declutters all those years just because I think it's a good old staple. And now Wet n Wild made those, I think it was like a 10 pan palette, and then they also have a comfort zone version. So I don't know if they completely discontinued this. Regardless, I think it's just a good memory back to the day, and I really want to try to use this. And by the way, this is what I have on my eyes today, and I think the look turned out okay. Sorry my voice is so sick. Still I'm in the recovery time, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. And hopefully I will be able to make some good progress to show you by the end of January. I know a lot of my videos are cramped right now. I have so many projects ending and starting around just the new year time, and I'm just gonna have to play catch up a lot. And hopefully I can give you an update on time and show you some good progress in those palettes. I really enjoy using both of them right now. You know, like warm tone, red, pinkish colors, and just good old neutrals. So I think I can make some good progress, and I'm really excited about it. And hopefully you will follow along and subscribe to my channel and give me a like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.